In 1946, a club was formed, merging Sampier Daranese and Andrea Doria. I don't even know how I pronounced that. But yeah, that club turned out to be Sampdoria. And that's the club that we are rebuilding today. But to understand why we are rebuilding them specifically, we need to dive in a bit of a history lesson. In the 1980s, Sampdoria experienced their glory days. Due to financial investments, they were able to bring young Mancini and Vialli, after that stringing 4 Coppa Italia titles, winning Cup Winners' Cup in the 1990 and the crown jewel 1991 Scudetto or Serie A. After all these successes, Sampdoria experienced a mediocre period, and in the 2010s financial trouble started, where in the 2020s we were first relegated from Serie A in the 22-23 season, and then in 24-25 season they were almost relegated from Serie B, finishing 17th and surviving a playout, and that's where we step in and in the next 5 seasons rebuild them from a struggling Serie B team to a winning Champions League team, hopefully. Now we need to create a new manager for this save, and he's going to be a 7'2", ripped out version of Pep Guardiola from Temu, you know, like Josep Temuela. Yeah, it's not funny. Yeah, I'm sorry. Looking at our team, I would say it's good enough for Serie B, and this is our best player, Salvatore Esposito. I mean, he's amazing. But as I've mentioned, it's good enough for Serie B, as media predictions are putting us at the 6th place, meaning we'll roughly be in the playoff spots. And to make this team better, we've been given about 4 million, which for this league, I would say it's actually fine. More than expected considering that Italian football isn't doing that well financially. With the team that we have and that you've seen, we built this in possession and out of possession tactic. As well, with these instructions, I basically aimed to win games while being patient, winning through counterattacks, playing through the middle and not risking that much, as Italian football overall is pretty defensive, and I tried to emulate this as much as possible. Also, we had news of a possibility that we could get a takeover at this team, which just didn't happen, yeah, sadly. And the first test for our team was in the first game this season in the cup against Cesena, which we won. Yeah, we actually won against the Serie A side. Yeah, I did not expect that. But in the first game in the league, we actually drew, with our defender scoring yet again. With seeing this, I didn't like how we played, so I tweaked the tactics a little bit and also bolstered our squad with several transfers that you've already seen, like Ranta Soldi for the defense, then also Junior Sambia, while in the midfield we got Denis Dressel, Tomas Soslov and Giaui Cisse. On the wing we got Paulino Della Fuente. In terms of outgoings, well, we only sold a couple players, netting us 2.1 million in the end. And with these transfers and a couple tweaks, we actually had a decent start to the season, being third with 3 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss in Serie B. Also looking at the schedule, I mean, I'm satisfied with this. I think it's fine. For a team that was projected to be 6th, I would say we are actually fine. But after these, I would say a bit easier 6 games, we have a tough one coming up against 2nd place Frosinone. And with our best team geared up, we actually lost. Yeah, 3-1 loss, sadly. But in the cup, we were still able to show our class, as we won 3-1 against Palermo, with Tutina scoring 2 goals, and yeah, another win against another Serie A side. But the next game, as you can see, it's not a good one. It's against Inter. Yeah, that's a big test. Maybe too big for us, but we'll see. But one of our things that's not doing well so far is the morale. As you can see, we basically have nothing except the club atmosphere. And even that is not doing as good as it should be, considering that it's already been months since we took over this team. And to correct that morale, we went on a decent run, winning a game 1-0, then losing 4-0 to Cagliari and winning against Arezzo, who are actually 2nd. As you can see, after 13 or 14 games, we're actually 4th. And in this run here from our winger Victor Nara, 4 assists in 5 games that we mostly won, I would say we are doing good, we're doing well. But that may stop, as in the next game against Hellas Verona, or 2nd, it's going to be a challenge for us to win. Media prediction, or fans, they're not saying that we have high chances. And with our best team, well, we actually proved them right. We lost 2-0. It's just that we cannot win against top teams in the league. We basically win against the mid-table and lower table teams, but against the top teams, we just cannot consistently win, therefore being in this 4th to 6th spot throughout most of the season. And I think I might have found the reason why, as our striker has scored only 1 goal in the 13 games in the league. Yeah, I don't even know how that's possible. And looking at his attributes, he should be able to score by far more than 1 goal. But now looking at the schedule, it's our game against Inter. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Still, they've rotated their team, which gives us a little bit of hope, but also shows how confident they are in demolishing us, which turned out to be true. Yeah, they are just better. They are just that much better than us. And yeah, after this game, our striker that we've criticized, he promises that he's going to break his goal route, which actually did happen. Yeah, in the game against Cremonese, which are first, we actually were able to win and he was able to score. Not most of the goals, but he was able to score at least one. And we played against a player that you might see is familiar. It's Jamie Vardy. Yeah, how did this legend end up in Serie B? I mean, he's 39, but still, he looks amazing. After these games, looking at the schedule, it should be a bit easier for us. But still, we've proved that it's not true as we lost against Modena, but then demolished Citadel. Yeah, I don't know how we were able to win 6-1, but one thing we've definitely proved is our morale. As you can see here, managerial support and team cohesion are much better. Club atmosphere has certainly improved too. So we are the Nears and these are the standings right here. As you can see, we're competing for that second place for the automatic promotion spot along with the 4 other teams. It's pretty tight, so we're not gonna know what's gonna happen till the end of the season. And this is the latest quad that we achieved, this position which right here. As you can see, we changed the striker actually and we put Totino on the wing, which I think is going to suit him and our striker much better. And since we arrived at the half point of the season, that means that the winter transfer window is open right now and we've put that to use. As we somehow got Renato Sanches for free. Yeah, he just wanted to sign for us and I'm satisfied. I mean, he looks like a decent player still. Also, one bit of news is that we offered a new contract to our aging but good enough DM. I think this was fine. I think this was a good decision. Still, throughout the transfer window, I tried to sell most of the other players that I didn't want to the team, but it didn't go right. I just couldn't. But the one player I didn't want to sell was the one that the board forced me to sell after they couldn't reject the offer, and that was Salvatore Esposito. Our best player left for a cumulative 9.75 million, which means that yeah, we are just not gonna do well.
Okay, we are cooked.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because we sold him in the last days of the transfer window and we weren't able to use any of the money that we got from his transfer, meaning that we are just stuck with this money and cannot do anything to replace him in the team. Yeah, we are done for. And that we were done for, it was shown in the schedule. As you can see, well, yeah, we're not doing well. We only had 1 win in 5 and we drew with Salernitana, but we're at least able to win against Juve Stabia 4-0. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult rest of the season. At least in these difficult times, our new signing, our Renato Sanches, got into great form, scoring 4 goals and having 2 assists in the last 3 games. Yeah, that's amazing. And we need him to continue that form, as in the next game against Hellas Verona, it's not going to be easy. They are first and, looking at our chances, they are a bit better than the previous time, but still, they are not on our side. We need a miracle to win this game. And with our best team, well, that miracle did not arrive. We lost 3-2 at home, and as you can see, it was a pretty close game. Actually, we were barely FM'd. We deserved at least a draw, maybe even a win in this game, but it just wasn't to be. But in the next game against Spezia, our tough times continued as we lost 1-0. Yeah, again we were kind of FM'd. Looking at our schedule, it should get a bit easier at least. In the games against Avellino and Catanzaro, we should expect a win. But then we have a game against Cremonese, who are second and are in competition for the first place, which it's not going to be easy. Why am I saying this so much? But another reason why I would expect a win against Avellino is they are also in terrible form, so we could maybe scrap a win there. And that's exactly what happened. We won 1-0 and by the result you would think we weren't as good, but looking at the XG, we definitely were dominant and definitely deserved to win this game. Yeah, definitely. But after this rather poor form, I tried to correct the tactics a bit because I thought that was one of the culprits of us playing this bad. It's not just getting rid of one of our best players, but also that the tactics had a problem. And with a change in tactics, we actually won against Catanzaro 5-3 with a Cesare hat-trick, after which I needed to reward him by actually signing him and offering him a nice contract for him to stay at his club even next season. Yeah, I needed to give him the star player as he just wouldn't accept anything less than that, which I was fine with. After all of this, we had a game against Cremonese up next. They were second and we were able to win, which means that we have the rest of the schedule that's relatively easy, but also this is for the contention for the second place. And if we lose any of these games, well, we cannot get second. And yeah, we lost against Venezia, which means that this win against Carenza doesn't mean much. Yeah, we are just playing for the best position in the playoffs so that we can get the easiest path, hopefully, to the promotion final playoff. To not bore you much, this is how we finished the season. As you can see, we also lost another game and it was against Sud Tirol, but we won the last one against Frosinone. All of this meant that we finished 4th in the league and are in a good position in the playoffs actually, as we are going to be one of the teams that's waiting in the semifinals. And guess who we got in the semifinals? final. It was that same Frosinone that we won our last league game against, and in the first leg that we played against them, we lost. Yeah, it was away, but this one goal from Lagomina is the one that could decide this tie, as we are playing our next game at home. And in that next game, geared with our best team here, we actually won. Yeah, we destroyed them 5-0 at home. I did not expect this. This was basically a miracle for us, as I thought we were gonna be out in the semifinals already. But no, we are up to play in the playoff finals, and it's against Cremonese. Also, if you see this H with the result from Cremonese and Spezia, that is a rule that, as you can see here, means that there are no extra time or penalties, as the team with the higher possession the regular season is going to win, even if the aggregate score is completely equal. So before the final, I held a team talk to try to get these boys fired up and to not really mess up like we always do in FM. And it went alright, as you can see. And the result of that throughout the season was this. As you can see, managerial support, team cohesion and club atmosphere are at a decent level. Nothing great, but still good enough. But now it's the game that we've all been waiting for. The final of the playoff. Let's go. Oh, we actually won! We are promoted. Oh, what? It's the first game? We have another one? What? Oh no, I got baited. Now we are gonna lose. And on top of this, our goalkeeper got injured before the last game. Oh, really? And even with that, we still geared up with the best team, confirm our promotion to Serie A. Let's go. And we are promoted. Let's go. Let's go. In the first season, we got to Serie A. Let's go. I did not expect this. I did not expect this. Somehow, we won 3-1 in the final game, meaning that it's 4-1 on aggregate, and we are up to Serie A. Let's go! Let's go! So yeah, that's the first season. This is the first episode of the series where we're going to try to get Sampdoria back to its glory days and potentially, and maybe if it's possible, in these 5 seasons, win the Champions League. That's it. This is the end of this episode, so like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one.